I thought that Pittsburgh had a tremendous game plan of neutralizing our big guys by spreading the floor and doing a very good job of handling the ball, being very careful with the execution. They only turned the ball over one time the first half. We've been accustomed to getting some deflections and at least getting some points off our defense. And today, we were not able to do that because I thought they did a tremendous job of taking care of the ball and moving the ball. And I felt very fortunate that we were only down 5 at halftime. Second half, I thought that when I looked at and seen as though every time they had a good look from the perimeter, and we knew they were averaging a little over eight threes per game. And every time we gave them an opportunity to get an open look from three, they did a great job of knocking them down. They did a very good job of executing. I thought we did a good defensive job on Young and Artist, and then obviously Jeter stepped up and made it very difficult for us. On every team in the ACC, every team will have guys that are capable of having big nights. And tonight, Jeter had his night, and I thought that really made a big difference in the game.
You kind of went to a smaller lineup there in the second half. I mean, was that when kind of Jeter kind of had?
Well, it was hard for our big guys to match up with him. We didn't have a matchup, so we just went to a smaller lineup, and that gave us some energy, but we couldn't get over the hump because they kept us. They did a great job of handling our defensive pressure, kept the floor spread, and I thought Young, even though he didn't have his usual high scoring day, I thought he was tremendous in relieving pressure and making good decisions with the ball as opposed to forcing anything. And so that was challenging for us. I thought our game plan was good. It's just that they did a better job executing the way they within themselves in order to give them the best chance to win. And obviously, Jeter getting off to a start, knocking down the threes and driving to the basket. This was extremely challenging for Michael to defend him. And it was a great strategy on their part.
What did Pitt do defensively against Bacon?
I think that every one of our guys will have one of those nights when they don't play particularly well, and it just happened to be his night. I don't think it was anything different that they did to him that they didn't do to the rest of our guys. They just did a very solid job of sticking with their game plan, and you got to give them credit when they do that.
And you were able to cut it to two with a decent amount of time left in the second half. Were we thinking at that point that you guys were going to be able to complete the rally, and kind of what was Pitt able to do to adjust it?
Well, once again, you use a lot of energy sometimes cutting back into that lead. And they're smarter, they're real smart, they're older, more mature team, and I thought at that particular time they regained their composure, executed. I think we might have took one or two. I think we had a shot that maybe we thought rolled out, another look that this didn't go down. And on those particular, when they called the timeout, they scored on twice, and so now all of a sudden what was a 1 or 2 point game, one possession game, moved back out, and they were able now to regain their composure, move the ball, and be a lot more patient.
How difficult can it be, Leonard, to prepare for a team, like that, where they have kind of subpar win-loss record, with the talent they've got with the scorers and with some of the teams that they've beaten. I mean, when you look at a team like that, how?
Well, it wasn't difficult because when you look at, they had a shot on the road at Carolina to win the game. I thought they played Duke on the road very, very well, and Duke maybe I think extended the lead right there toward the end of the game to maybe get a little separation. But they've played very good basketball all year long. They just come up short. But that's life in the ACC. You can almost won't count in the ACC. You got to play complete games, and they've been right there on several occasions. And I think coaches first year getting the system in, I think it's obvious that it works. And we said all along the way they play would be extremely challenging for us. Obviously, we hadn't planned on Jeter getting 29 points. We were kind of hoping that we can keep everybody kind of below their average a little bit, and we did that in some places, but we just didn't have an answer for him. But that's the challenge of playing in the ACC. You can't leave anybody open in this league. And on every team, you will have guys that maybe that are capable of doing that. And I thought that this was Jeter's night, and I thought this was to our demise.
go from having a week between games to now having to play again in 48 hours. Do you think your guys are glad to be able to get back out so quickly, or is it?
Well, especially a team who's had 5 or 6 days off, so I'm sure they're a lot more prepared for us than we'll be with them. But we all go through those periods where you have quick turnarounds, and we have to adjust. And it's late in the year, and hopefully we'll be who we are, and that will be enough for us to be successful at home.